Muy bien, chicos. Today you're going to learn a little bit about el presente perfecto. What is the present perfect? This is when you're trying to talk about something that someone has already done. It's used to talk about events that have already occurred. These are things that started in the past and continue on to the present. Some examples are like, have you eaten yet? No, I haven't eaten yet. In order to form the present perfect, you have to have two parts. The first part of the present perfect is the verb haber. This tells you who is doing the action. The second part is the past participle verb. This tells you what is being done. So have you eaten? The have you is the verb haber. Eaten is the past participle. The present forms of haber are he, has, ha, hemos, habéis, han. To form a past participle, you start with an AR, ER, IR verb, and then of course you drop off the AR, ER, and IR ending. For AR verbs, you had ado, so a verb like hablar would become hablado. For ER and IR verbs, you had ido, so comer would become comido, vivir would become vivido. So there's only one form of the verbs. You change haber before it, again, to say who's doing the action. Has comido, have you eaten? Hemos hablado, we have spoken or talked to. There are some irregular past participles. These are participles that you cannot go to the yo form, or you can't drop off the AR, ER, IR, and add the ado or ido. They're just irregular. So some examples are abrir becomes abierto, cubrir, to cover, becomes cubierto, decir, to say or to tell, becomes dicho, escribir becomes escrito, hacer becomes hecho, morir becomes muerto, freír, the verb to fry, becomes frito, that's where the chips come from, poner becomes puesto, resolver becomes resuelto, romper becomes roto, you might recognize that from the health unit, and ver becomes visto, volver becomes vuelto, and satisfacer becomes satisfecho. If you're using a reflexive verb that you want to use in the present perfect, you just take off the se and it goes before the form of haber. Se ha duchado, he or she has showered. So here's some practice that you can write down, 1 through 4. Write these in Spanish. I have studied Spanish for 3 years. He has attended Wayzata for 11 years. We have eaten nachos grandes every day. They have played football for many years. Remember, you're not stem changing these at all. You just take the AR, ER, IR ending off, drop those off, add ado for AR verbs, ido for ER and IR verbs, or it's one of the 13 irregulars. Put the verb haber before it. Buena suerte.